Susan grew up in a small town. Her parents taught her the value of hard work. Her family was always engaged in community. They owned the local lumber yard, and both her mom and her dad served as mayor of Caribou. They didn't run for office to get famous. They were small town people that stepped up to serve the community. That's what drives Susan. This is where she got her work ethic. Those small town values have guided her all along.
There's a small town work ethic in Maine that always seems to have a big impact on Washington. Margaret Chase Smith's dad was a barber. Her mother was a waitress. Bill Cohen's dad was a baker. Olympia's uncle that raised her was also a barber. Her aunt worked in the mill. Susan Collins' dad fought in the Battle of the Bulge, then came home and ran the local lumber dealership. These are all people that grew up knowing what it's like to work, what small town America is all about. That's why they made such a huge impact on Washington.
Susan doesn't get tangled up in that Washington mess. And she's got that Maine common sense that makes her so effective in the Senate.
She lives in Bangor. She shops at the Hannaford on Broadway. She's a part of the community.
She truly loves the state of Maine. She was born here, her family has been here for generations, and she's going to stay here. She represents the traditional Maine values, our outdoor heritage, our forest products, agriculture and fishing industries, and the Maine work ethic. That's why she works so hard. That's why she's never missed a single vote, more than 5,000 in a row. She's been elected by the people of Maine to work on their behalf, and no one takes that more seriously than Susan Collins.
No one has ever worked harder to keep jobs in Maine. Whether it's large employers like Bath Iron Works or New Balance, or our thousands of small businesses, she fights for Maine jobs. It's why she's fought to lift truck weight limits to keep our back roads safe and make things easier for our truckers. When the federal government decides to take steps that could harm our state, Susan Collins is the first to step up and fight for us.
Susan Collins loves the state of Maine, and the feeling is mutual. Maine people know that no matter what happens, we always have an advocate of Washington fighting day in and day out for our state. She's our senator.
Our senator.
She's our senator. Our senator.
She's our senator.
Our senator.
She's our senator.
Our senator.
She's our senator.